There's a quiet presence that lingers behind the curve of someone's smile, an invisible heaviness that settles between their gaze and your words. It's like a draft sneaking in through a door you thought was secure, a faint chill that disturbs. A space once full of warmth, you sense it in the pauses that last too long, in the subtle shift beneath their laughter, like the fine fissure in glass barely noticeable, but growing. It's the strange ache of being acknowledged, yet not truly seen, a certain kind of solitude that begins to grow roots in the very place where trust was supposed to flourish. When someone close becomes quietly envious, it doesn't usually arrive with loud declarations. More often, it hides. It cloaks itself in subtle behaviors, a strained tone, a compliment that leaves you uneasy, a noticeable pullback in the openness you once shared. You're left wondering, is something changing in them, or is it you? The line between perception and reality begins to dissolve, and with it, your sense of certainty. But even in that haze, there's a path to steadiness. This experience can teach you how to discern these subtle signals, not to judge or retaliate, but to return to yourself, to your own center, and protect the sacredness of your presence within any relationship. Carl Jung taught that jealousy isn't simply triggered by another's actions. It arises from a deeper fragmentation inside the one feeling it. It is a psychological projection, a mirror reflecting their own unresolved emotions, unmet desires, or internal fears. You are not the cause, you are the surface where their shadow lands. Their envy, in truth, is their soul's unspoken cry, a confrontation with parts of themselves they have yet to accept. This doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, nor that they've consciously chosen to hurt you. What it signals is an invitation, a deeper calling toward awareness. Their shadow points to something stirring beneath the surface, and while it may sting, it is not inherently malicious. As Jung reminded us, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. These encounters then become opportunities not for resentment, but for reflection. It takes a tender kind of strength to witness jealousy without hardening, to see it not as an attack, but as part of the deeper emotional terrain between souls. You are asked to look with clear eyes and a steady heart, recognizing the emotion not as poison, but as a signpost, a moment of reckoning, a crossing on the path of growth. And in learning to read its signals, your confusion gives way to insight. You no longer react blindly, you respond from awareness. You regain your grounding, your boundaries, your light, and you begin to hold space not only for your own truth, but even for the silent struggles of those beside you. Let's take a closer look at one of these quiet signs, the kind that rarely announces itself. It slips in softly, like frost forming overnight. Someone close to you, once warm and supportive, starts to lace their praise with something faintly sharp, a remark that sounds kind, but leaves you questioning its sincerity. You sense a shift in their tone, their posture, the way they look at you when you're thriving. It's like tending a garden with care, watering, nurturing, watching it flourish while someone nearby sows ice into their own soil. Their admiration is tangled with something else, a cooler undercurrent, an edge just beneath the surface. This dynamic reflects a Jungian archetype where both admiration and resentment live side by side. The person may not even fully understand what they're feeling. Their words might still sound supportive on the surface, but underneath, there's a tension, a fracture in the harmony that once connected you. And when you begin to see this not with bitterness, but with clarity, you begin to release yourself from the confusion. You stop shrinking to make them comfortable. You stop second-guessing your own light, because you now understand their struggle is theirs to own, and your growth is yours to protect. Asterisk, asterisk, when someone recognizes your brilliance, the unique energy you carry that they secretly yearn for, it can stir something uneasy within them. Beneath their composed surface lie insecurities they often avoid acknowledging. Instead of celebrating your light, they cover it with veiled critiques, masked as harmless remarks or joking concern. These subtle digs aren't just words, they're protective mechanisms, born from a bruised ego attempting to stay intact. The silent tension grows like a quiet war. Sarcastic comments hidden in pleasantries or a smile that doesn't reach their eyes act as armor for their wounded pride. And while they protect themselves from feeling small, it leaves you in an emotional fog, questioning whether their words are meant to help or quietly wound. For you, these moments do nothing to nurture your spirit. They leave you cold, unsure if you're being loved or quietly judged. To move forward, you must grow in discernment. There's a vital difference between feedback offered with care, meant to help you evolve, and the quiet resentment disguised as advice. One uplifts, the other erodes. Stand in quiet strength. As royalty would protect sacred ground, refuse to let passive coldness creep into your roots. When you give this dynamic a name, you strip it of its power, reclaiming your energy and tending to your growth with intention. Their shadow is not your weight to bear. Then there is another layer, the change in emotional climate that's harder to define. The connection you once cherished begins to cool. What was once warm familiarity now feels distant, like a once vibrant house abandoned in winter. They're physically present, but emotionally unreachable. The laughter is gone, replaced by quiet and guarded glances. You sense the space between you stretching, despite sitting side by side. From a psychological lens, this is often the inner child pulling away, afraid, vulnerable, unsure of its place beside you. Their silence isn't punishment, it's self-protection, a way to avoid being overshadowed. The jealousy here doesn't lash out, it hides, distancing itself in quiet defense. You're left searching for warmth, only to meet stillness. And that stillness can awaken old wounds, echoes of rejection, questions of worth. But in this quiet distance lies an opportunity. Rather than chase their affection or mend what isn't yours to fix, tend gently to your own emotions. Don't internalize their retreat. Instead, become a steady, compassionate observer, strong but soft. You can see their struggle without carrying it. Let your warmth remain intact. Keep your own light glowing, even if they've gone cold. In doing so, you stay whole, no matter how the relationship shifts. And then, there's the most subtle form, when support seems to fade just as you're about to rise. This is not obvious hostility, but something quieter, a hidden resistance to your growth. Like vines tightening around a thriving tree, it restricts you without your immediate awareness. You may find yourself second-guessing your choices, wondering why encouragement feels half-hearted or delayed. This hidden resistance often comes from fear of being left behind, of not mattering, of losing their sense of identity next to your shine. They don't intend to harm. In fact, they may not even realize what they're doing. But through hesitated support, masked discouragement, or quiet doubts wrapped in just trying to help, they plant subtle seeds of hesitation in you. What's tricky is how softly it unfolds. It's not betrayal, but erosion, a chipped confidence here, a missed celebration there. Over time, your steps forward feel harder, not because you're less capable, but because someone close is gently tugging you backward. Here, your task is to stay awake, stay rooted in who you are. Notice when something doesn't feel aligned. Recognize that not all hesitation around you is yours. You're not meant to shrink for someone else's comfort. Keep growing, expanding, even when those closest to you cannot yet celebrate it. In doing so, you honor your journey and, without confrontation, let their unspoken fears be theirs to sort through. You rise, not in spite of the shadows around you, but with clarity and grace, untouched by them. Sometimes, when you speak your dreams aloud, you notice a pause in their response, not overtly critical, but not fully supportive either. There's a subtle dimming in the room, a shift in energy that unsettles you. It's not always obvious, but it lingers. It might come as hesitant encouragement, or the absence of genuine joy when you succeed. These small signals chip away at your momentum, making you question your direction, your strength. It feels like someone is gently placing invisible walls around you, all while appearing concerned or just realistic. But this is the moment your spirit must stand tall. You're being called to rise with conviction, to hold your truth with strength and compassion. Like a sovereign ruler who guards the sacred space of their realm, you are asked to claim what is yours, your vision, your progress, your radiance, and defend it with love and certainty. This doesn't mean shutting people out with anger. It means clearly and firmly drawing lines that preserve your peace and growth. It means voicing your truth even when it unsettles those around you. And most of all, it means trusting your own inner compass above the quiet doubts that others might project. As you do this, something beautiful happens. You begin to grow upward and outward without resistance, no longer tangled in others' expectations. You reclaim your right to thrive, You remember that your dreams are not a burden to manage but a flame to nourish, and you hold that flame with tenderness, protecting it from the winds that do not understand its heat. There's also a deeper layer to this path. Sometimes, the envy or discomfort someone else expresses doesn't just affect you, it awakens something within you. Their reaction becomes a reflection, stirring up old feelings you thought you had already healed. Their discomfort may highlight parts of yourself that still feel unsure, unworthy, or unseen. Instead of only seeing their shadow, you start to notice your own. Jealousy, then, becomes more than a tension between you and another. It becomes an emotional mirror. In it, you glimpse your fears, those quiet voices within that question your right to shine. These moments are uncomfortable, yes, but they carry a sacred purpose. They are invitations to look within, to tend to the pieces of yourself that have longed for healing. When you meet this inner discomfort with compassion rather than shame, you begin the real work. You begin to stitch yourself back together, not in spite of your wounds, but through them. You stop fearing the mirror and start seeing it as a portal, a way through which you become more whole. You understand that the pain jealousy stirs isn't always a sign that something's wrong. Sometimes it's a sign that something deep is ready to be seen, loved, and integrated. And in doing so, you reclaim your light not as something fragile, but as something grounded and enduring. You no longer need others to validate it, nor do you shrink it to protect them. You simply carry it with kindness, with steadiness. Now is the time to turn inward and reflect. Think of the times when you felt that quiet sting of envy or emotional disconnection. What emotions came with it? Sadness, confusion, guilt. Let those feelings surface without judgment. Writing them down can ease their hold. Then ask yourself, where are my boundaries too soft? Where do I let others' shadows enter my sacred space? Protecting yourself doesn't mean shutting the world out. It means knowing what truly supports your spirit and letting go of what dims your spark. You might even try visualizing yourself as the guardian of your inner world. See yourself seated in calm authority, not over others, but over your own life. Imagine your light radiating outward, untouched by comparison or fear. Let others' jealousy become a teacher, not an enemy. Let it guide you inward to the places still needing your love. This path isn't easy, but it is holy. Every time you face a shadow, yours or someone else's, you are given a chance to grow not away from the pain, but through it. What others reveal in their discomfort isn't your burden. It's your call to step into deeper awareness and compassion. And in that space, where your soul meets your shadow, you discover something profound, that your light was never in danger, that it cannot be stolen, dimmed, or broken, that you, in all your complexity, are still whole, still worthy, still radiant. And so you walk forward not unscarred, but unshaken.